Hey, beautiful souls, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing amazing. Happy election day. I waited until the last minute to do this because I really wanted to see, okay, what is the energy of today and what's truly going to be transpiring? So I have watched so many predictions. I've watched so many astrologers. I've watched everything that you could possibly imagine. And this weekend, I actually did a reading and I uploaded it to my YouTube. It's private. I have not made it public. Okay, I uploaded it yesterday, day before yesterday. I can't remember. Anyway, I said, I'm not going to release that one. I actually want to do what was brought to me. And I want to give you guys a different angle to look at this. Okay. So, what started all of this, I was really sitting with the Declaration of Independence chart and then sitting with Kamala and Trump's charts individually. And so, I decided to let's use the Declaration of Independence chart, and then we're going to use their charts with it. Let's see, using that angle, what's going to be the best outcome for the collective with the United States. Now, I do know everybody in the world's kind of like hanging on, waiting, because this is truly going to decide and dictate, and this is the deciding factor. This is what we've all been waiting on. Now, I'm still standing 10 toes down. If 2020 is not fixed, how can we trust uh, what's happening? With that being said, yesterday there was a man arrested in Nashville for trying to destroy a power plant. He was actually flying his drone in to destroy it. So I'm still standing 10 toes down that something's going to happen today that could possibly hinder the election. So be on high alert, call in protection. I am praying that we are able to get through this and nothing happens. God knows I'm praying for that. This is one of those things that I do not want to be right about. Okay. I don't want to be right about it. I don't want to see there be any more destruction happen within, you know, the US. We've had enough. We've had a lot truly transpire. I want to look at the Schumann real quick, okay? Before we dive into the charts. It's still not been updated. However, we've had like a lot of light coming in. So yesterday it was 66, and that's a beautiful thing. I love to see the Schumann that high whenever there's a lot of uncertainty, whenever there's a lot going on, because I know that when the Schumann is that high vibrationally, the light is in full control because the dark is not able to operate, period. The dark cannot operate in those frequencies. It just can't operate. So, with the Schumann being this high, this is a beautiful thing. This tells me that the light is in full control. Hold on. Um, up your protection, up your grids. All right. So let's dive into the chart, shall we? All right. So we're going to start with, and this is just the first one that I picked up on. We're going to start with Kamala. And I have the United States as the leading chart. Okay. So you will see the United States is going to be a Sag rising, and this is going to be the inner wheel here. Okay. So one thing that stood out to me the most with the United States being a Sag rising and all this in this stellium in Cancer. Okay, you guys see this right here? We've got the sun, we got Venus, we got Jupiter, we have Poseidon, we got part Fortune, we got Mercury, and then you also have the North Node in there. So the stellium is in the 8th house. Now, they also have Uranus, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter in the 7th house. One of the things that was standing out to me the most, okay, is the fact that Kamala and Trump's North nodes, South nodes are all hitting in the 7th house and the 1st house. Okay, so the 7th house has to do with contracts. It has to do with all of that coming together. But one thing that I did find very interesting with Kamala's chart is Kamala's chart is going to be in the 11th house of the people, the entire collective humanity. Okay, now I do feel that people are not able to see Kamala clearly due to Neptune being conjunct her Venus. So she has Venus in Virgo, Pluto in Virgo, Uranus in Virgo. And this is also squaring, okay, the Mars that is in the 7th house. It's also squaring really in between the Mars and the Uranus in the 7th house. And that's where her North Node is. So in looking at her chart and in looking at this specifically, okay, the squares here, I do feel that there's, how do I say this? There's going to be things that are brought to light as far as her taking that position that may not be of the highest light because of those squares. Now, Jupiter is transiting the house of relationships. This is also legal contracts right here, okay? So Jupiter's in here. Jupiter is going to be expanding what's truly of the light with White Moon Selena, okay? What's truly of the light, what's truly of the highest octave, the highest value for humanity, especially when it comes to the United States. Now, with those squares, there's going to be lessons. There's going to be things that are brought up. There's going to be things that come up to the surface in regards of her being in integrity, especially with her sun falling in the 11th house. This is going to be hopes, wishes, and dreams, right? So if she is not truly in integrity, this is going to be exposed, especially with this Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter is not going to expand the contracts. It's not going to expand what needs to be expanded due to, okay, things that are being brought to light. Now, with these squares here, okay, and it's not an exact square, but it's close enough, okay, for it to be a square. There could be things that have been done in the past, especially connected to her belief systems and how she shows up in her relationships that's brought to light. And that's already started happening if you follow Candace Owens. I mean, she's already been bringing some of these Virgo receipts in regards to her family and what she lied about her book and all of that. So all of that has already been coming to light, and Jupiter's going to continue bringing those things to light. Now, Venus is conjunct, transiting Venus is conjunct the South Node, her South Node. So it doesn't shock me that those things have been brought to light. This is part of her past, okay? doesn't shock me that those things have been brought to light and it has affected her on a personal level. Mars is going to retrograde in the 8th house, which has to do with the occult and things that are hidden. It also has to do with secrets. So I feel with the United States, with this Mars retrograde, that, and it'll get close to her Mars, okay? It's definitely going to cross over the North Node, which the North Node is going to be activated. Now, her North Node is conjunct her Mars. So there is an activation that has been taking place with that as far as the United States goes. But I do feel with this Mars retrograde that there's going to be a lot of secrets, a lot of things that are in the dark that's going to be brought to light as far as the elections go, as far as the lies, the deceit, okay? Because we are in an 8-year, so keep that in mind. Now, I also want to look at the fact that the United States moon is going to be at 26 degrees of Aquarius, and Kamala's Saturn is also at 28 degrees Aquarius. So this is part of her karma in coming back and fulfilling this role and going through this process. Now, her moon does square her Jupiter, and her Jupiter is conjunct Algol. So this is also where the karma, the things that have been hidden, even with her book, okay, because Saturn is retrograde in the 3rd house of communication. And then we have the square with her Jupiter in the 6th house of work. So Uranus has come through and brought that out. That is where Candace Owens comes into play. So let's see. I want to pull, I do feel that more of the things that have been brought to light as far as Kamala's deceit, not telling the truth, with this Mars retrograde, it's definitely going to be activated. It's going to be brought into light. Now, one of the things that I was looking for the most, because of this Cancer stellium, that's kind of where I was basing everything off of. Kamala does not have really a lot in Cancer. So as far as being able to connect to the soul of the country, you know, there's not a lot of energy there. And it is squaring, almost squaring. It's within a 3-degree orb of her Eris. So this is where a lot of what we've been seeing as far as the war goes, people do not want any more war. So that's kind of where that's coming from, is going to be that square. Now, she also has Mercury in Scorpio. So Mercury in Scorpio, I kind of see this as kind of like the pitchfork tongue, okay? Mercury in Scorpio, you need to be very mature in order to handle the things that go through your mind and come out of your mouth. It's kind of like spewing poison all over people. And that's going to be in the 11th house. So this is where I feel like, as far as all of her interviews have gone, all of that has kind of been like, what are you even saying? Because of that scorpionic energy, especially with Mercury being in Scorpio. Now, it doesn't square anything. However, her Neptune, it's within a 5-degree orb of squaring the South Node. So, with that being said, I truly believe that, especially with Pluto being turned back on, if you are not truly of the highest vibration and you're not bringing truth, okay, because Mercury and Scorpio can either be the biggest truth teller or the biggest liar that you've ever seen. And based on what has been brought to the light about the books, okay, this is showing me that this is not matured. She is not telling the truth about her history, okay? So I do feel that there's going to be a lot brought to light. I also feel with the North Node being in Aries in the fourth house, that there's going to be a lot of things hidden and a lot of deception as far as the election goes. We're already seeing that. We're already seeing that. So I did get the Four of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Five of Wands. So I do feel that things are definitely coming to an end. Okay, cycles are ending. There's been a lot of fighting, a lot of conflict, a lot of deceit, because to me, the Ten of Swords is like your family turning on you and then deciding to, like, you know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot that's coming to an end as far as Kamala is concerned. Now, she is not showing up as, I mean, she's showing up as the Nine of Pentacles, which is fine. Okay, it's grounded energy. There is a lot of Virgo energy showing up, Virgo, Cancer, Pisces. So with the Nine of Pentacles and then the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, it does feel like that this is what she's fighting to show you guys. Hey, I'm grounded. I am a feminine energy. I have everything that you need. I'm going to be able to take care of all of the things that she's promising. And it could look like it's going to be a good collaboration and we're going to have victory. However, there's a lot that's hidden. Okay. There's a lot that's hidden that is going to be brought up to the surface. And the fact that they're already preparing for major unrest, the fact that they're preparing for, and I'm seeing this a lot, civil war, tells me that there's some things that are hidden that we may not be able to see that's going to be brought to light. And this could be connected to the election. So y'all keep your eyes open. I know there's already been voter fraud take place in Philadelphia. There's been some major wins in other places, but we've already seen the voter fraud in a large scale. So keep that in mind. Clarify, what is the moon? What's hidden? And I get the Ten of Swords again. I get the Empress with the Five of Cups. And then a Four of, and see, I got this card twice. So the Four of Swords, one's upright, one's in reverse. So I feel like what's hidden is definitely the truth that's been going on with her and about her telling the truth of her heritage, her telling the truth of where she's been, what she's doing. There's definitely been a lot of things that have been ending, but I do feel that she is running based off of abortions. And that's kind of like been her biggest thing. there's not really been a whole lot talked about what is truly going to be the most healing for humanity, what is truly the best for humanity. So with that being said, I do feel that I don't personally see the collective picking Kamala. I feel like the lie is going to be through the media that she has been personally selected, and I am going based on this, okay? White Moon Selena, Jupiter in the house of contracts. All right. Now, if she had her sun here, I would be like, yep, that's it. But her sun's here. And we've already seen that with her Mercury, she's not even telling the truth about her heritage. So people are seeing through that deception. They're seeing the lies. They're seeing things aren't as they think, right? So then let's dive into Donald Trump's chart, shall we? Ooh, not so close. Okay, so right here, still the United States. I have the United States lead as the chart leader, okay? The middle wheel right here is going to be Donald Trump, okay? It's going to be Donald Trump. And then the outer wheel is going to be the transits. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, in looking at the seventh house right here, contracts. Okay, this is the house of contracts, the justice system. So we have Mars in between Trump's sun and north node, which Jupiter is exactly conjunct that right now with White Moon Selena. Now, he also has his Uranus there. So this is where that wild card is, and his Mercury. It's like he's a wild card. He comes in, you sometimes he can be predictable, but sometimes he really can't be. That's that Uranus. That is that unpredictability. That is that sudden change, sudden insights. And then you have his Mercury there in Cancer too. His Mercury's very intuitive. They both have water Mercuries, okay? So with the Cancer energy, it can almost become too. And I mean, you could say that for a Mercury in Scorpio too, but it can be very intuitive. One thing about the difference between a Mercury in Cancer and a Mercury in Scorpio is the Mercury in Cancer knows when to keep their mouth shut, and the Mercury in Scorpio sometimes can lose it and speak when they shouldn't, or there is that possibility that lies can come out. So Trump is very intuitive, just having that Mercury in Cancer there. But what I really want to focus on the most, especially with the stellium of the United States, so the sun is at 13 degrees, okay? And Saturn, Trump's Saturn is going to be at 23 degrees, okay? So the sun is going to be the soul of the people of the United States. Now, the part fortune is also at 21 degrees, which would be conjunct his Saturn. So we've got the North Node Sun and Uranus conjunct Mars. So Trump's North Node, Uranus, and Mars conjunct, I'm sorry, North Node Sun and Uranus conjunct the United States Mars. And then you have the part fortune, and I mean, Venus is within a 4-degree orb, so I would consider that a conjunction. So you have Venus and Saturn, right? Conjunct part fortune of the United States. This is where I see Trump's soul really leading the way, fighting for the justice for the people. Now, the United States Saturn is conjunct his Saturn. So this is telling me that, yeah, his Jupiter's also conjunct Saturn too. So this is showing me where that karma is coming into play as far as the pew-pews that have happened over the last couple of months. Okay, that started back this summer. Now, his moon is conjunct his south node. So, sun conjunct north node, his moon conjunct south node. Now, right now, Venus is conjunct his moon. So, right now, his moon is really being supported when it comes to the feminine energy. And so that is conjunct his south node. Now, her south node, her moon's not there. Her moon's in Aries. So it's over here in the fourth house, right? But this is going to be taking place in the first house of the United States. His part fortune is also conjunct the United States moon at 28 degrees, and his part fortune, I'm sorry, at 26 degrees, and his part fortune is at 28. And so Saturn retrograde is bringing all of this to light as far as all the BS that politicians have sold us in regards to war. We have Pluto in the eighth house too, and this is where, and this is Trump's Pluto in the eighth house of, and it's conjunct the north node of the United States. So this is where his purpose, his mission was to be the one to sound the alarms, to bring the towers, to bring the awakening. You can see that with Pluto conjunct the north node. You can also see that with Uranus within a 4-degree orb of Mars. Okay, but keep in mind, his Uranus is only 9 degrees from the United States Uranus. So there is that humanitarian factor that he's bringing to the table that truly mimics and represents what the country was founded on. He's here to bring balance, karmic balance, especially when it comes to war. Okay. So Mars has been activating the eighth house for Trump, and then also for the United States. Keep in mind, Kamala doesn't have anything there. And the only thing that she has in the seventh house is going to be her North Node. And that's going to be at 24 degrees. So his is actually closer. Let's see. I mean, it's going to go on with Trump today. Let's play some cards. And it's no coincidence that all of this is taking place in Philadelphia. Let's clarify the devil. Clarify the devil for me, please. So I get victory and I get the Six of Swords. Things are definitely moving forward, definitely moving in the direction for divine truth to be brought to light, especially as far as all the darkness that has been brought to light over the last 8 years. Okay, there's definitely a lot of truth, a lot of darkness that's being exposed. This was the whole purpose and the whole role of Trump in his position. He was there to sound the trumpets. Okay. Things are definitely going to move forward fairly quickly. And it could even possibly entail a lot of, I mean, he's definitely been fighting for you guys, but this can also represent making the choice, okay, to fight for what's right, especially with what's been going on behind the scenes. As far as women, as far as religion, okay? Because I wanted to clarify what the devil was. What's the devil? Okay. And I get the Hierophant, the Three of Swords, the Empress, and then the Two of Swords. So I feel like with what has been exposed, I feel like it's definitely connected to human trafficking. There's been a lot of fighting to be able to bring things forward in order to spread truth, in order to bring things to light. Now, it ends with the Queen of Swords looking to the future. I've got two aces here. Judgment's in my timing. Tell me about what's the Five of Wands, please. Clarify the Five of Wands. Okay, so the Five of Wands, I don't feel actually going to represent us fighting. The Five of Wands is representing the fight for the victory. The victory for the hopes, wishes, dreams. And I get the High Priestess with that too. So I do feel that this is what's happening behind the scenes. There's definitely a battle that has been taking place. I feel that we have been in what they call a civil war for the last 5 years, and people are just now waking up to it being all around us. There is a lot of darkness that's being brought to light, especially in regards to human trafficking, in regards to what's happening on the border, in regards to religion, people of power. Now, I could definitely see this going as far as the collective is concerned. I can definitely see this going in Trump's favor, especially when I look at the charts this way. Okay. However, for today, I truly believe that we need to be prepared for anything. And it's not like this is not going to be like anything that we've ever seen before. This is not going to be like anything we've ever experienced before. There's going to be a lot of conflict, especially after tonight, leading in tomorrow, probably even up until the inauguration on January 20th. Now, I'm just praying that what happened in Ukraine doesn't take place before the inauguration if he does in fact win. Okay. But I'm standing firm on the fact, how am I supposed to trust and believe that you all are even reporting the correct stuff when you never fixed 2020 and there's already been all kinds of election fraud take place? There really has been. I mean, it's been bad, especially, like in Philadelphia, right? So with that being said, you guys set some intentions today. Today is Tuesday. Get a bay leaf, right? Let's timeline jump into the highest possible timeline that's going to be the greatest and the best for humanity. We need the wars to come to an end, and it does make sense that the United States has been the military background, especially with that Sag rising. So this is what's being exposed. This is what's being transformed. There's been a lot come out, especially having Chiron, Eris, and the North Node here with Neptune. There's been a lot come out about things that are done in private, especially when it comes to our military, when it comes to our politicians, when it comes to the media. So a lot of this is getting exposed. Chiron's here, the North Node's here, exposing it. And then you have Saturn retrograde in the third house of communication. So it's going to be exposed, right? All of it is. I just want you all to stay grounded today. Remember your vibration, because your vibration is going to be the most important thing, because we're going to be able to lead this vibrationally. Okay. I did not vote, and I'm quite okay with it. I really didn't. There was just something about, I'm like, I don't want any part in it. I don't want any part in it. I did not get my registration done in time, and they told me that I could vote, but it wouldn't count. So what was the point? So there's that. I was happy to see that Tennessee was actually enforcing the laws. So if that's the reason why that I couldn't do it, then so be it. Thank you. I will take that so I can actually vouch and say that Tennessee is enforcing you to follow the rules as far as voting goes. So that's a great thing, right? That's a great thing. Keep your head on a swivel. Things could heat up intensely over the next 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. Every time you leave the house, please pray. Pray. Okay. Pray for protection. Shit could truly hit the fan anywhere at any moment. So make sure you're calling in protection. Make sure you're talking to your spirit team. Make sure you're talking to God. Make sure you're talking to your angels, and listening to your intuition, because you don't want to get caught up in something that could potentially hurt you. Okay. With this Mars and Pluto opposition that we have been feeling, I'm so thankful that Mars is now in Leo. However, that Mars in Leo can be like, I'm going to prove my point and I'm going to win. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. Happy election day. Happy event day, whatever that event may be. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye.